Hello, back at it again with the mathematical monopoly, Mr. Dylan representing Dylan Ultimate Mathematics, Dylan to you, matrix, multiplication, second video. Let's go ahead, slide down to our example of the day. So right now, we got our matrix. We got in the first bracket, for our first row, we got -3 and we got 6. Color coordinate that with blue. Circle that for y'all. In our second row, we got the normals 2 and 3. Color coordinate that 2 and 3. Red. And then we got for our third row, we got 4 and 7. Color coordinate that purple. And then we're gonna move on to our second bracket. We got in our first column, we got the normals 1 and 2. And then for our second column, for our second bracket, we got the numerals 3 and -2. So we're going to hit slide down and we're going to start our process, the first step towards solving to get our final answer for our final bracket. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do -3 times so we doing our first row times our first column. So our first row in our first bracket times our first column in our second bracket. So we got -3 times 1. So we're gonna do -3 times 1 plus, and then we got 6. So we got 6 times, and then we have our second normal is gonna be 2. So we got -3 times 1, and then we got 6 times 2. And that's gonna be for our first row. And now we do our first row times our second column. So we got same thing. Now we just doing a little different. So we got -3 and 6 still times our second column consists of the normals 3 and -2. So we got for our first row times our first column, then we got our first row times our second column. And we're gonna do the same thing for the rest of the rows down our first bracket. So let's go ahead and slide down to our second row. Our second row, the numerals are 2 and 3. So we have 2 and we have 3. And do the same thing. It's gonna be multiplied by our first column. Our first column gives us 1 and 2. Then we have our second row again. Our second row is going to be multiplied by our second column. So for our second row, we got the numerals 2 and 3 again. This time we're multiplying these normals by our second column, and our second column is going to give us 3 and -2. So now, same thing for our third column. We got our third column. Our third column numerals consist of 4 and 7. So we got 4 and we have 7. We're going to multiply those by our first column and our second column as well. So let's go ahead and write that out. 4 and 7 multiplied by our second column. So for our first column, we got our numerals 1 and 2. Then for our second column, we got 3 and -2. So now we have placed all of our numerals in our brackets. Now we can go ahead and solve for each one so that we can figure out our final bracket for the day. So we got our first row in our first column, we got -3 times 1 plus 6 times 2. So this is going to give us, we got -3 times 1 is going to give us a -3 plus 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is going to give us 12. So we got -3 plus 12, which is going to give us a final answer of 9. Then we go down to our first row to our second column. We got -3 times 3. -3 times 3 is going to give us a -9. Plus, we got 6 times -2. So -9 plus is going to be a -12. 6 times -2 is going to be a -12, which is going to give us -9 minus 12, which is going to give us a -20. 1. So now we move down. We have our second row, first column. We got 2. 2 times 1 is going to give us 2. Plus, we got 3 times 2 is going to give us 6, which is going to give us a final value of 8. Same thing, we got 2 times 3, we're going to give us 6. Plus, we got 3 times negative 2. 3 times negative 2 is going to give us a negative 6, which is going to equal out to being 6 minus 6, which is going to give us a final answer of 0. And now we move to our third column, third row, first column, second column. We got 4 times 1 is going to give us a 4. Plus 7 times 2 is going to give us 14. So we got 4 plus 14, and y'all already know 18 it is for our final answer. And then we got, last but not least, we got 4 times 3, that's going to give us 12. 12 plus 7 times negative 2, that's going to give us a negative 14, which is going to equal 12 minus 14, which is going to give us a final value of negative 2. So let's go ahead and slide down. We got our final bracket right here. And we're going to ahead and put all our numerals in our final bracket for our final answer for today after multiplying everything out. So we got for our first, we have 9 and we have negative 21. We have 8 and 0. And we have 18 and negative 2. And these are our numerals for our final bracket. And this is our final answer for today. I like that in that pretty yellow. Bang! And there we go. Our final answer and our final bracket for the day. Man, thank y'all for tuning in with me. And don't forget, it's your mathematical monopoly, Mr. Dylan. Dylan, Ultimate Mathematics, serving it to y'all today. Peace and blessings out to everybody. And thanks to everybody tuning in to the video. And oh, almost forgot before y'all leave. Hey, your circle consists of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Turn 360 and let that track spin. Hey, you have control of what comes into your circle, what goes out of your circle, what comes into your life and what goes out of your life. You have control of it. Hey, so control with everything that's going on within you. Control that. Don't worry about everything else outside of you. Control everything that's going on within you. Control your circle with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Hey, that's all I got for y'all. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all soon. Y'all be good. Peace.